Hello everyone, my name is C, and today I have a WIP and chat for you. If you don't know, WIP stands for work in progress, and chat is just me telling you about what I've been up to. I'm going to go over everything that I'm using today, what kit I'm working on, and then I will get into, I'm going to do a rundown of my entire summer break. It's going to be a lot. The first half of it is just me finally fangirling over everything that happened, but I'll get to that. So to start with, this is a cross-stitch conversion from Jada Gem Shop. She does these little mini conversions if you're not sure about the project and you want to test it out. This is a great way. I am working on Luna Moth. This is okay to show you. There's no symbols. There's nothing. I will not be showing the pattern just to keep it, well, if you want to work on it, you can buy it type of deal. It's just generally something you don't want to do is show cross-stitch charts. This is just from Diamond Art Club. I have my Bella Art de Nicole trays. I have like the little mini guys, and then I have a bigger one. Sorry, I saw something flying around. I'm in front of a window. And bugs fly around and catch my attention. I have very much squirrel energy. There is still... Okay, anyways. My Bella Art de Nicole trays. I have Création Morin Paris. I think that's how you say it. They're in Quebec. This is just a sample. I've actually ordered more from them. I'm just waiting for it to arrive. And it is all of their, like... I bought some what I feel is fall scented stuff. I'm actually going to change out my putty because... this is old and it's kind of not working anymore. So hey! And this pen is from Création d'Aubel. I believe they're also in Quebec. I originally was never going to get an upgraded pen. And then I was live on Instagram and Winter Wonderland. This is the pen, by the way. Woo, super pretty. I think it fits... like me, like Sea of Diamonds. I think it fits. Told me that I was crazy for diamond painting for 5 years and never buying a pen or trays. So I went all out and I bought myself some accessories. So I got the pens. Do I want a new multi-placer? I want a new multi-placer. Do you think I would have figured this out before I started? Oh, of course I drop it. Do y'all just have a bag of multi-placers? I do. I'm a ridiculous human being sometimes. This was a poor idea. But hey, you get to see me troubleshoot all this. Isn't that fun? I don't know what I've gone over. This is putty. It's oatmeal, cookie dough scented. It is absolutely amazing. I kind of wish I bought another package of it. But I mean, shipping is like $2 for me, so I'll just buy some more putty. They recently came out with one for like autumn leaves. And, see? Little washi tape around there, twist it in, golden. So I kind of want to get it because we're going into like drills and chill season and it would be super fun. Because I am nothing if someone who likes themes and stuff like that. Ah! I'm not a pro at using this stuff yet. It works like half the time for me, but it's fine. This is like the first putty I've ever used, and I kind of love it. Also, I put out another video the other day. I did an unboxing, and I'm like, don't look at my nails. My nails are gross. Guys, I got the pink off. I got new nail polish. Like, I actually went out and... I didn't go out. I went on Amazon and I bought nail polish and painted my nails, and look how good they are! Like, ignore the stuff on my skin. But they look so good! I'm proud of myself. And I got black because we're going into spooky season. Fall is like, we'll get rid of that. Fall is like one of my favorite seasons because it is sweater weather. It is the crunchy fall leaves and pumpkin spice and pumpkin pie and the amazing snack-sized candies. It is wonderful. Okay, I think where did my magnet go? Oh, I didn't even put it underneath. We are 5 minutes in, and I have yet to diamond paint. Hi, my name is C, and I am a mess sometimes. This is gonna be like my third or fourth. I recorded a whole bunch of videos today, a whole bunch of unboxings. And this is gonna be like one of the later ones that goes up. I actually can't say that. It might be third or fourth. Who knows? But that is such a wonderful introduction to me and the channel. I'm a mess. We're good here. Anyways, let's get into chatting about my summer while I attempt to do a cross-stitch in chat. Cross-stitch WIP and chat. I actually found that these projects, like, I was working on this, I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna like it. It seems like it's gonna be, like, super challenging and tricky to do. And I'm just sitting over here and I blasted out this entire, like, I have 2 pages left. And I started working on this like a day and a half ago. So like, go me! Now, I love this, and I actually went and I bought 2 more of these guys. I was originally only going to get 1 more cross-stitch conversion, and I was asking my brother, I'm like, hey, I can't decide what I want to get. What do you think I should do? And I showed him 2, and then he goes, we'll get both of them because I'll buy the fox for you. And you can do it. I don't want to work on it, but you can work on it. And then just give it to me whenever you're done. So I'm like, alright, bet. And I ordered both of them. So I should have 2 more cross-stitch conversions to do coming up soon. And they're like not small either. Like, this is 30 by 30. Nice small little teeny tiny guy. The ones I got for my brother and I, his is like 30 by 80. Not bad. Doable, not bad. And then mine, I didn't even bother to look before I just went, yeah, sure, why not? Let's do this. It's like 40 by 160. You guys, like, okay, all my lives I talk about how I have a big go or go home energy about myself. Like, I will find something I like and then I will just dive right in and go as big as possible, which I proved with this cross stitch. Like, I got 2 guys. These are long panels. This ring is actually cutting off circulation. There we go. I bought 2 massive panels, you guys. This is the first one I've done. I don't know. It's gonna be fun. I'm gonna enjoy it. Although people are telling me, like, this one I'm working off of paper, and people are telling me that I need to get a tablet for these larger guys, and I don't think I'm going to, only because, like, I don't want to pay for a brand new tech just to do diamond painting. In my mind, it's kind of wasteful for me. That's not the right word. I don't need it for anything other than diamond painting, and I'd rather not. If you see me put down the pen, it's because I'm highlighting my pattern for what I completed, so I don't lose complete track of what I'm doing. Oh no, my highlighter's dying. Can we take off another box for my I'm a complete mess? Hold on, I need another highlighter. gosh. Good thing I keep them within reach because I am a whole mess today. There we go. New highlighter acquired. Yeah. Anyways, let's start talking about my summer. And I have to start with, this has been like the most unsummery summer I've ever had. Like, usually my family and I like go out and we do things and we go like to the zoo, or I don't know, what did we do last year? We did nothing. That's not true. We did a lot of like small visits to places we've been wanting to go, but just haven't had the chance. We didn't do any of that this year. I mostly sat at home and diamond painted while my family went to work. Because I lost my job June 30th. I have something lined... Oh my gosh, I'm getting so off topic. This is like squirrel energy here. Anyways. So I've been sitting at home. It's been like the least summery summer ever. But I mean, honestly, I get to chill at home and diamond paint for 2 months. Sounds fun to me. But I'm surprised. Like, okay. Even though I've been sitting at home, I have yet to like reach 20 completed diamond paintings. And like by this time last year, I had already finished like 20 something. But it's not a race. Like, it really doesn't matter. It was just a notice, but I think it's because I started more massive projects this year than I did last year. Last year, I stayed in like the 50 by 70 range, and this year I have 2 massive projects going. Like, I have... Oh, I did that wrong. No, I didn't. I have a 60 by 100 and a 70 by 100 currently as WIPs. And I'm thinking about starting an Abraham Hunter, which is another 70 by 90. Oh, the color difference is going to throw me off. Guys, we're back to me being just like a hot mess. Cool. There we go. That's better. 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5. Yay! Alright. But anyways. It does make me miss camping. Like, my family have always been like big campers up until my brother and I graduated from high school and we stopped going camping. Well, because everybody had jobs and nobody could get the same days off of work, and you know, like small things like that. So we haven't gone camping in a few years, and I actually miss it. Like, and I used to have a ritual for my birthday where my birthday weekend I would go camping. But because my birthday is in June, taking 2 days off work to just go camping is not a valid excuse. Especially when I don't have holidays, or I didn't have holidays. Yeah. Wow, that was a mess. Sorry, I'm fixing that. But yeah, I miss camping. I miss it so much. I am living... So there's a YouTuber, Serena in a van. I am living for her WIP and chats where she tells her stories because it makes me feel like well, it's enjoyable to listen to her adventures. And it kind of feels like just chilling and listening to her is kind of like camping. In a very roundabout way and weird. Whatever. I like her stuff. She's fun to listen to. Anyways, 14 minutes in, and we're gonna chat about Icon and my fangirling fun. Hi, so if you don't know, Icon is an anime convention. I am a huge anime nerd. I absolutely love the stuff. It's a great time. So me and my brother went to Icon this year together. And it is my 3rd year going, his 2nd year. We were originally going to do like the whole like hotel shebang, and so that we were closer to the convention center and we didn't have so much travel time. Didn't work out. Again, because he's on term work, I was working. We didn't know if I was going to be working through the summer or not. Clearly I'm not. He is. Sorry, thinking. Okay. Thinking, counting. So we didn't actually end up booking hotels, which was fine. Our parents were very kind people and dropped us off. So that we didn't have to bus through the sketchiest parts of town. Actually, the first night was a Friday night and we were busing home. And let me tell you that was scary. Because it was dark out. Me and my brother were the only people at this bus stop. And downtown here is scary at night. And there was just like sketchy people around us. And we were like, you know what? We're not gonna bus home anymore, because that was just, you know, it felt like we were in danger. So we're like, not doing that again. And our parents were very kind and picked us up the other other night. Sorry, we only went for 2 out of the 3 days. But yeah. So the first day, I'm gonna go through like a day-by-day thing because there's so much happened. And it was wild. But we are on number 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You go there. So me and my brother wait in line, and I am already like super excited because we have to wait in line to get our passes, our little badges that says, hey, we belong here. And we're waiting in line. It is long, but it's moving quickly. And we're waiting, and I'm just staring at all the cosplay going on around me. And I am having a good time, and I am like smacking my brother, and I'm like yelling at him like, look at this person. They're from like this series. And he's like, that's cool. And he's like, yeah, I totally know who they are. Wonderful. Can you quiet down so we don't attract the attention of every single person in this place? I'm like, yeah, whatever. And as the line's moving, I keep seeing new cosplay and I keep smacking him. And like, look, that guy's from like Attack on Titan. And he is just like, okay. And possibly regretting signing up to be around me in fangirl mode for 3 days. We plan to go all 3 days. And as we get our passes, we head up to the second floor where the market hall is, because we wanted to make sure we explored the market hall first. So we get up, go onto the second floor, and we see a map. So I'm like, oh, cool, let's go look at the map. We go up the escalator. You have the stands, that's the maps. And just behind it, we get up. I squealed. And it wasn't quiet. It was like people turned their heads, and I embarrassed myself. Because I squealed so loud because I saw 2 people. One was cosplaying Hawks, the other as Dobby from My Hero Academia. My Hero Academia is currently my absolute favorite thing in the world. It is like my obsession right now. My fixation, hyperfixation, I don't know proper terms like that, but it's the main thing I'm like watching and like looking at and things. Anyways, so I see these 2 cosplayers and I squeal, and someone comes up behind me on the escalator, and you could see him look at me like I'm absolutely insane. See where I'm looking. He looks at the cosplayers and then looks back at me, and I'm like hands covering my mouth, like slightly shaking, having a good time. No, I'm not. I'm freaking out. And he turns around and he goes, are you good? I'm like, yeah, totally fine. I'm totally fine. I'm good. He's like, are you sure? I'm like, yep, just trying to bring it. And he's like, oh my god. He's like, are you just excited to be here? I'm like, mm-hmm. My brother is laughing so hard right beside me because I'm trying to contain myself. It's not working. People around us are looking at us like I lost whatever brain cell I had is gone. And this guy, at this point, he goes, all right, have a good time. And I'm like, yeah, you too. And these poor cosplayers finally notice me freaking out, and I bolt. And I'm sure that was probably the most hilarious thing that they see. And mind you, the convention has, like, officially been going for, like, 20 minutes at this point. 20 minutes, and I'm already freaking out. Like, alright, this is a good time. So after that whole fiasco, my brother and I, go wander the marketplace. And as soon as we get up to the marketplace, I see that Ryan Colt Levy? I think so. I should know this because I love him. But not in a creepy way, just as, like, his roles are really good and he has a good voice. Anyways, he is standing there waiting for signings, and there was, like, no line. There's, like, one person, and I'm like, you know what? Awesome. I'm gonna go get him to sign something for me. I do not care what. I just want a signature because this dude is one of my favorite characters. Please note, I say favorite character loosely. Ryan Colt Levy voices Rhodey from the third My Hero Academia movie. And I love our little stray runaway boy so much. And his relationship with Izuku in that movie, great time. So I'm standing there and I'm chatting with this guy. Mind you, I am wearing a Hawks cardigan from Steady Hands. If I remember, I'll pop up a picture of what it looks like, or I'll link to it down below. I might just pop up a picture and be like, hey, this is the cardigan I was wearing. And as I'm standing there, I'm fangirling all over again. Like, I'm standing there, I'm trying to be cool. I'm, like, poking my brother. I'm like, hey, and you know what? I'm gonna call my brother Lotus, because that's what he goes by online. And I don't want to share his name, because I don't share mine. So I'm like, hey, like, Lotus, you need to talk to him for me, or I am going to freak out. And he's like, no, you got this. I got this? 20 seconds ago, I was squealing over some cosplayers. What makes you think I got this? This dude actually voices the character. And then we got called up to his booth. And I am freaking out. Like, I am shaking it. As you can see right now, I'm shaking again. That's mostly because I have yet to have anything to eat, and I am running on caffeine. We're good. But I'm standing there shaking. And I'm talking with this dude, and he goes, hey, that's a Steady Hands cardigan, right? And I'm like, yeah? And he goes, oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I have a few of those too. I have some for Denji, which is Chainsaw Man, the main character of Chainsaw Man. He voices as well in English. So I'm like, oh, that's awesome. And so we're talking about designs, and, like, he's like, yeah, you know what? I think I'm gonna reach out to the people at Steady Hands and see if we can talk about doing, like, a roadie design. And so me and him are talking about design options and, like, how to get, like, a little Pinot, because that's the boy's quirk in the show. Anyways, I'm freaking out. My brother is standing beside me, trying not to cackle like a maniac, because, I mean, here I am talking to this well-known voice actor, and I'm just trying not to fangirl and embarrass myself yet again. So we do that. I get his signature, he signs the poster, and he's like, do you guys want a picture? And I'm like, oh, like, I hate being on camera. I hate pictures of myself. I hate all of that. And I really want a picture of this guy, but I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna pass. But thank you for the offer. And he's like, all right, well, I hope you enjoy the rest of your convention. I hope I see you at some of the panels. I'm like, yeah. And at that point, like, it was too much. I was done. So I walked away from the booth, and I am holding this picture of Rhodey that is signed by Ryan Colt Levy, and I am shaking because I just talked to this dude, and my brother's like, look, you did it. I'm like, you left me. You abandoned me to talk to him. He's like, you did fine. Chill. I'm like, no. Look at my hands. I'm still shaking. What is wrong with you, Lotus? Anyways, it took me 45 minutes to stop shaking after chatting with Ryan. And, my brother was laughing at me the entire time. Now, so we wander around the market hall, and we're, like, buying prints and stuff. We both came to this convention with money, and we blew it and went to the bank before the second day to take out more money. I mean, that's just... we enable each other, and it's horrible because... well, it's not horrible. We spend our money on fun stuff. Yeah. And as we're walking around the marketplace, I am picking up cards. And these cards are all from, like, all the artists and everything. And my brother goes, why are you being such a gremlin? I'm like, I'm not a gremlin. He's like, you're being a card gremlin. Stop stealing all their business cards. I'm like, you know, I want to follow these people because their artwork is pretty, but it's too busy in here for me to stop in front of their booth and, like, actually start following them on Instagram. And he's like, well, then maybe don't follow every single person here. I'm like, not possible. So I have a collection of cards. I followed every single one of them. They're all on my Instagram if anyone is curious about them. However, so we're doing that. We check out the opening ceremonies. We went last year to the opening ceremonies, and they're really cool how they do them at this convention. I say this convention like I've gone to multiple. I haven't. I've only been to the one. But you know, they do the opening ceremonies. They have these really cool drums. There's a family, I think it's a family, it might be just family owned, but there's someone in this city that brings their drums and they do some songs, and it's awesome. Like, you can feel them hammering those drums. It's great. There's a proper name for it, and I can't remember what it is, but yeah, super cool. I am 30 minutes in, and I've, like, barely made a dent in my list. But anyways, we saw the opening ceremony, super cool. We got an introduction to all the voice actors, and this is where my fangirling heart is incredibly happy. Because not only did we have Ryan, the voice of Rhodey from My Hero Academia, we also had Zeno Robinson, who voices Hawks. And, okay. I was so excited to meet this dude. Because Hawks is an absolutely amazing character in the series. And, you're telling me that we got the Hawks here? My city is junky at best. Like, Hawks here. What? Anyways, and so every time I went up to the market hall, I was trying so hard to see if he was up there so I could get an autograph. Because I went into the market hall on a mission. I was going to buy a Hawk Funko, and I was going to get him to sign it. my brother still owed me a birthday gift at this point. So as soon as I found the Hawks Funko, I got my brother to buy it for like my late birthday gift. And then, is that right? This one's right. This one's wrong. Boop, boop. So I got it, and I carried this thing around with me for like days. I said days. I saw him later on that night. So my brother and I go see some panels and that after we buy the Hawk Funko. And we're looking at the list, and we're seeing like there is one on how to beginner cosplay. So we're like, all right, you know what? We go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I did this wrong. Note to self, next time, don't work on a conversion that requires counting. Everything else is fine. I just did this one wrong. Anyways, we go to like a panel about like cosplaying. We're sitting there and we're like, well, this actually seems like super easy to do. Like we won't make our costumes, but I think next year we talked about how my brother wants to go as Howl from, hold on, take it a sip. My brother wants to go as Howl from Howl's Moving Castle. And I think I'm going to do Violet from Violet Evergarden. So I think that's what we're going to do next year. Next year we were like, we're getting a hotel room. You're not doing this back and forth thing. We'll just get a hotel room, stay there. So I need to start like saving up money for a hotel room. I need to save up for a cosplay. It'll be fun. Anyways, after that we check out, what did we go next? That's right. After, like, later on that night, Zeno Robinson was doing a signing. And I'm like, well, I'll go stand in line and I'll see if I can get his signature because I want him to sign this Funko for me. So I go wait in this line. It takes like 2 hours. But, like, the Zeno Robinson, absolutely fine. I will do it. So I'm standing in this line and some dude's chatting with me. I'm like, you know what? Dude, I'd really rather just read my silly little stories on my phone than chat in this long line. I was gonna swear, don't do that. In this long line, I'd rather just chill and read. Also, that Hawks and Dobby cosplay that I saw when I first walked in were sitting in the line way ahead of me, but I could see them the entire time I sat there. And I'm like, oh god, do they remember me squealing at them? I hope not, because that's embarrassing. So we're all waiting in this line and it starts moving and this dude's chatting with me. He's like, yeah, so what's your favorite? I'm like, My Hero. As I'm carrying, he asked me what's my favorite, and I'm carrying a Deku poster. I have a Hawks Funko in my hand. And I'm wearing my My Hero Academia Hawks cardigan. And I swear I looked at this dude, and I didn't mean to, but I looked at this dude for like a solid 10 seconds, and then I'm like, My Hero? He's like, alright, yeah, I probably should have got that. And I'm like, yeah. What about you? And I'm like, I don't remember what he said, but like, this dude just kept talking. And I was just not about it that night. Mind you, it is like 8:30, 9 o'clock by the time we get to the end of this. Like, by the time the signing is done, it is like 9 o'clock. I'm tired. I have been there since 11 a.m. I was ready for the day to be over, but I wanted this signature. So, we get in line, and it gets to 9 o'clock, and that is the cutoff time, like the absolute latest that they will let people in. And I'm getting nervous because I'm like, I don't think I'm actually getting in tonight. And there's a group of girls behind me. And I'm like, you know what? Actually, these people seem fun to chat to. So we're talking and we're talking. And we're all, the four of us are just fangirling over the various people in that room. And we're all talking and we're like, I will actually bawl if I do not get in there today to get a signature. I'm like, I will be heartbroken if I do not get in today. Anyways, so we're chatting, we get in the room, and one of the girls line up right behind me. It is me, there is 4 people in front of me, and then it is Zeno Robinson right there. So I'm back to my, like, fangirling self. I'm having a good time just seeing him standing there. And then I hear you can pay for different things. Like, if you wanted a recording of him doing one of his lines, you could pay for that. And one of the girls in front of me did. And I heard the Hawks line in person. I'm fangirling all over again. This is gonna be one embarrassing video to put up, but it's fine. It's fine. I knew what I was getting into. So, and I'm standing there, and I'm trying not to look, because if I do, I will squeal again. So the girl behind me, she's like, "Are you good?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, absolutely perfect. He just did the Hawks line." And I'm like, trying to collect myself before I actually have to go speak to this dude. So, yeah. We're both chatting, and then it's finally my turn, and I go up to this dude, and he's like, "Hey, I love the cardigan. Like, I have one at home." Guys, see, this is why I can't go out in public. I have matching cardigans with Zeno Robinson. And he's talking about, like, we're chatting and having a good old time. He signs my Funko. It's great. If I remember, I will put up I will slide in a picture of my signed poster and the signed Funko. But, like, I'm having a good time. I walk out of there and I'm shaking again. It's my usual, apparently. What do I want to work on next? What color? Let's go with 964. So, oh no, that's 564. 964. So I get his signature. I'm chatting with this dude, and I mention, I'm like, "Hey, yeah, I'm going to be coming back tomorrow with, like, a Bakugo cardigan." And he's like, "Oh, that's sweet. Well, I hope to see you again tomorrow." And I'm like, "You're never gonna remember me, but that's fine. Like, it's totally cool. I understand. This dude sees hundreds of people." So I go home, call it a night, that's it. I'm fangirling when I get home. I think my brother counted, and I said I have matching cardigans with Zeno Robinson 13 times. Highlight of my evening, apparently. So anyways, we go back the next morning, and the first panel that is happening is, this is 40 minutes, and I'm not even halfway through my list. It's fine. So we go back to the next morning. Is this the right color? Yeah. And it is Zeno Robinson's signing and Q&A session. So I'm like, well, I don't need a signature, but I just want to chill and listen to this dude talk. So I go in, I ask them if I could just go sit and chat, and they're cool with that. So I go up front, I sit down, and as I'm walking down this aisle, my brother is off at the marketplace again. He's like, "Well, I don't want to sit there and listen to some dude chat, so I'm gonna go wander." I'm like, "Alright, you do you, bud." So Lotus is off wandering around, I'm sitting here, and as I'm walking down to the seat, I'm like, you know what, I'll get nice and close, because sometimes I have trouble hearing at these things, depending how the setup is. So I go sit down, and I sit close, and he looks up, and he sees me walking down the aisle, and he goes, You have the Hops cardigan from yesterday, right?" I'm like, "Yeah, this is my Bakugo one." And he's like, "Cool." He's like, "I remember talking to ya." You guys! So, well, here we go again. I am fangirling, and I am, like, texting my brother in all caps, like, Lotus, he actually remembers talking to me yesterday, and he remembers the cardigan. I'm like, in hindsight, it is like the smallest thing. And I am just such a loser. But it's whatever. So I'm like listening to him chat, and he's going on about things, and he does more Hawks lines, and I'm like having just a good old time, and I'm trying not to fangirl in front of this dude. Because I feel like that's like crossing a line of embarrassment that I'm not ready to deal with. So we do this. I listen to him chat, and then as I'm leaving, a few girls ask me, they stop me and ask about my cardigan and where I got it. Good times. It was so much fun listening to this guy talk. Yeah. So then after that, I went up. Oh no, I bumped it. I'm sorry. So I went and met up with my brother. I really hope it hasn't been shaking the whole time. I met up with my brother, and we went and saw like an anime feud panel, which was a lot of fun. We also saw, we went to a few like 18 plus panels, which one was anime feud. Can I tell you how embarrassing it is to be wandering to be wandering around a convention center explaining to my brother Fujoshi and Seme and Uke terms out loud? Like, you couldn't wait until we got home so I could explain this. No, it's when we're wandering around and there's many people listening to me explain these things. I will not explain them here. If you want to look it up, go ahead. I just warn you against what you might find. So that was fun. We also went to 18 plus bingo. That was entertaining. My Lotus really wanted to win a prize, and I'm like, how are you gonna take that home? 18 plus bingo, guys. This was like an 11 p.m. to 1 a.m. event, and I'm like, how are you gonna take that home to our parents and be like, yeah, look what I won? Lotus! But he was trying so hard, and I'm sure, I really want to know what his plan was when we got home, if he won. I'll leave it up to your imagination on what some of these prizes could be. But, yeah. It was a good time. We couldn't see the cosplay contest. We were like 20 minutes too late. On Saturdays, they do like the cosplay contest. But to get into the contest, you need to ask for a wristband because they have limited seating. And that's how you get in, is you have this wristband and you go, and they will let people in with the wristbands first. And then anything else is just standing room. This event is 3 hours. We decided that because we didn't get the wristbands, we weren't going to wait for 3 hours for maybe standing room. And we didn't want to stand for 3 hours. So we're like, you know what? We'll just watch the recording later. Because they record it, they put it online. And we must say, like, we have never cosplayed a day in our life, okay? But we should not have been that harsh when, like, watching these people. Maybe it was because we saw last year's, and these ladies had, like, absolutely wonderful things. Like, one had wings that actually folded open. Like, she had hydraulics worked into her cosplay to make the wings open. And I don't even want to think about how much time that would have costed to make. And she was in, like, oh, that's not the color I want. She was in, the Masters categories. This year's Masters category wasn't, what I thought it would be, but again, I think I'm just coming off of what last year's was. I won't get too into details, but yeah. We weren't like, the cosplay was cool, we just don't like what the judges ruled as winners. Everyone did wonderful cosplay, just the winners weren't what we wanted to win. If that makes sense, without being, like, bashy. I don't want to bash anyone. Their cosplays were wonderful. But yeah. That was Icon. Lots of squealing, lots of fangirling on my part, lots of my brother being like, I can't believe you are acting like this in public. It was a good time. I talked to, when I was waiting in line for the Zeno Robinson signing, there's just Comic-Con in my city too, and I was talking to one of the organizers, and he's like, yeah, we're trying to get someone from, like, Supernatural to come. I have been a fan of Supernatural since I was 14. I'm 24. Could you imagine? Okay. If I squealed while seeing cosplay of Hawks, could you imagine my reaction to actually seeing the cast, like, and I have no clue who it was, but someone from the cast of Supernatural? It would be over for me. But it was, I'm not gonna go to that because I blew all my money on this convention and I have no business going to another one. But I'm like, that's awesome. I'm so glad I won't be embarrassing myself a second time. But anyways, that was it. We are 46 minutes into this thing. I plan on only doing like an hour. So I'm gonna blast through the rest of my notes, and I think we'll be good. So I think this is still looking okay. So the next thing I had to chat about, hold on, more water. I say water, that was actually coffee. It is empty now. The next thing I had to chat about, what color do I need? Was YouTube. So that was the thing I started. At first, like, when I started going live on Instagram, I had Shay from Crafting with Shay pop into my live. What? Anyways. She popped into my live. She's like, hey, are you gonna be doing YouTube? Like, do you have a YouTube? I'm like, no. You know what? I don't think I'm gonna be doing that for a couple of years. It's just, it's a hard setup to do when I live with 3 other people. It's just not in the cards. And then I went and... Sorry, I'm listening to my cat scream like it's the end of the world. He's being dramatic. So I'm like, no, you know what? I don't think I'm gonna do it. And then I just had this attitude of, you know, why not? So I started a YouTube. I put up that time lapse in chat with every intention of being like, hey, I'm gonna do more of these time lapse and chats and I will read a story. I'm still going to do that. Please know, like, I'm still gonna write stories and do time lapse and chats. However, those videos take at least a month to make, if not more. It depends on if my brain accepts what I'm writing. But that's a whole other can of worms that I really do not want to get into at this present moment. Cool. Yeah. So I started a YouTube. That was fun. Put up that time lapse in chat. Did my first unboxing. And I will say thank you to everyone who has watched those videos, who have commented on them. You are absolutely amazing. Thank you. I have more videos coming up soon. I'm looking at my notes and I just have YouTube. I'm a liar because in that time lapse in chat, I said that I wasn't going to be doing, I wasn't going to do unboxings. I wasn't going to do WIP and chats. I wasn't going to do post reviews or anything like that for ages. Guys, what have I put up on my channel so far? I have put up a post review. This is going to be a WIP and chat. I have put up unboxings. So, you know what? I'm just a liar, apparently, which I will accept. Nope, that's the wrong color. There we go. Because it's fine. If I get into something and I enjoy it, I'm going to keep doing it. So I'm just going to keep doing my thing and see where that leads me. And honestly, this whole YouTube thing is just for fun and just to share what's going on in my life. So what's going on in my life, what I'm working on, you know, like fun things like that. There's really no rhyme or reason to when I post or what I'll post, but it'll be a thing. Yeah. Okay, I have 10 minutes. I'm gonna get into this topic. Guys, I'm beginning to do the adulting thing. That sounds ridiculous to say. What I mean by that is, for the past 3 years, I've been saving up to buy a house or a condo or whatever I want to move into. And I had a phone call with the bank. I visited the bank and he's like, yeah, you know what? You're doing really good on saving. I could see you being able to purchase a place in like a year and a half, somewhere in there. And we talked about numbers and like what kind of place I could get. I'm so excited. I have been going to open houses and looking at things, and like for the longest time in my mind this wasn't a thing I could do. I don't know why, but my mind was just like, you know what, you're not gonna get to a point where you can do this, and I'm actually getting there and I'm so excited. I've been looking at what I want to do for a place. I think I did that wrong. 1, 2, 3, 7. Blank, empty. Yeah, you're not supposed to be there. Yeah. So I'm actually getting super excited because it means that I can, in a year and a half, like, and I'm looking at places with 2 bedrooms or like a large enough living room because I want to be able to create like a craft room / library. Hi, I'm a huge reader. I'm a librarian, library tech technically. Books are my thing. I didn't do that one. So I wanted to create a craft room / library in whatever house I move in. In whatever house I move into. Sorry, I thought I counted wrong. So I'm keeping that in my mind as I look at places. Of course, all the open houses I go to are going to be sold by the time I actually buy anything. I know that. It's mostly just to get an idea of what kind of space I would be comfortable living in. Because I'm going to be living on my own for the first time in my life, and I don't think, like, okay, I am absolutely excited for this. But I don't think we talk enough about how it's kind of scary. I mean, don't get me wrong. Again, I'm super excited, but I'm also kind of scared in a way. But the excitement outweighs it. I hope that makes sense. I don't know. I'm trying to put my thoughts and emotions into words, and that's never been a strong point of mine. So, whatever. But I'm excited. 1.5 years, 2 years, somewhere in there. But it's looking doable. I need to find permanent employment, which I'm hoping comes up soon. I need to buy a car, and then I am golden. But yeah. One last thing to talk about. I've actually got my reading mojo back. So for the longest time, I haven't actually been reading anything. But then I started reading Crescent City again. And, sorry. And that is was a good choice because I'm actually reading, I'm listening. I count it. I'm a library tech. This is my field. It counts. I'm listening to the audiobook for Crescent City, and I am thoroughly enjoying it. I've already read this book once. I just forgot what happened. And I want to read it before book 3 comes out. Book 1 and 2 before book 3 comes out. So I'm going to be doing that. Super in love with that series. I also started reading Fourth Wing. The Diamond Help Desk is doing like a little book club thing. I think it's on her paperback. Oh, what is it? Paperback Pearls? I don't know. Oh, I'm sorry, Sophie. I can't remember. But, yeah, she's doing a book club, so we're all reading Fourth Wing, something I've been really wanting to read. But my god, someone needs to give this girl some water, because the way that she describes this men, she either needs to decide which one she wants or have some water and just walk away. But hey, that's just me noticing stuff, whatever. But yeah, I'm super excited to keep reading both of those books. I hope you didn't hear that. My stomach just made noise. Oops. Again, I haven't had anything to eat yet today, and it's like 2 p.m. Oopsie. Anyways, so that's what I'm reading. Really enjoying both books so far. Sorry, I am just highlighting stuff, and then I will wrap this up. But yeah, both super good books. If I could recommend one, please, please, please read Sarah J. Maas. I need someone to talk to about Throne of Glass, because that's like, in my mind, you have Crescent City, Throne of Glass, ACOTAR. That's like the order of her series for what I love the most from Sarah J. Maas, and I need more people to talk about Throne of Glass with. I also need to do a reread of that series. Anyways, I'm going to end the WIP and chat here because we are at 57 minutes, if I'm reading that right. Thank you for joining me. I hope you could follow along on my derailing train of thoughts. I swear it derails or just decides to change stations every 30 seconds. But thank you for joining me. If you made it this far in the video, what should we do? Why don't you leave like a green heart or maybe a moon? And let me know in the comments down below what you've been up to. Did you do anything fun this summer? What kit are you working on? If you like this video, please consider liking or subscribing. I plan on putting up more videos soon for you guys. I think that's all I have to chat about today. All of my socials will be linked in the description down below. You can find me on Instagram. I am the most active there. If you feel like chatting with me, please feel free to send me a message. I love chatting with you guys. Alright, I'm going to leave this here. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you all have a good day.